is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Welcome to Providence, Rhode Island, where today the Friars host the Stony Brook Seawolves. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Dickie Simpkins, and Providence is 7-3 this year, coming off a loss. And Dickie, what do they have to do to turn things around?
Well, the Friars will have to have Kyron Cartwright take his offensive game to another level and his leadership, and that will help turn things around.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. For Providence, Rodney Bullock is an all-Big East candidate, averaging 15 points per game, but Ed Cooley really likes his big 6'10 freshman, Nate Watson, who needs to play big before conference play starts in 2 weeks. Stony Brook's top scorer is Akwazi Yaboa, averaging 13 points per game, but they'll also need a big game from 6'7 senior Tyrell Sturdivant. Stony Brook is in red, Providence in white. We are ready for college basketball. Brian O'Connell, Tony Chaza, and Rob Riley will be our officials this afternoon. And it is controlled by Providence. Kyron Cartwright, one of the top assist leaders in the Big East Conference at 6.3 per game. But the Friars missed their first shot. Sturdivant going to work, and he will wind up at the free throw line for a pair of shots.
Well, that's just a senior going against a freshman, taking advantage of a young Watson, using his skill, his footwork to lift Watson up in the air and get the foul.
And Tyrell Sturdivant, I said, this is a guy who must play big, a senior from Chester, Pennsylvania, averaging 10.5 points and 4.5 rebounds per game.
Well, Coach Bowles needs Sturdivant to be able to increase his scoring abilities from the three-point line. He needs to make more threes to help this team get into position to win games.
And you just saw Jeff Bowles, 7 years an assistant at Ohio State and 7 postseasons for Thad Matta. Cartwright moving off the right side. Kyron gets it back, backs up, resets. Shot clock down to 12. They go inside to the big fella, Nate Watson, and he slams it down.
Excellent vision by Cartwright. Great hands by Watson to catch that pass and explode up above the rim.
And Ed Cooley had high praise for Nate Watson, talking to us before the ball game.
Well, he's an excellent finisher. He's finishing around the basket 50+% on every time he catches the ball.
Meantime, Stony Brook with their point guard, Jaron Cornish. He wears number 0, averages 4 assists per game, gets it down low to St-El. Stony Brook misses their first 3 from Tyrell Sturdivant, who's a 34% shooter from outside the arc. Jackson from the corner. He hits.
That's what Coach Cooley needs from Isaiah Jackson, starting in the place of Malik White this game due to injury, and he needs to step up as a veteran player, and that's the way to do it, by knocking down open threes.
Yeah, the Friars will miss both White and Alpha Diallo because of injury. Diallo out with a right ankle injury, and White with the left knee. Bullock rebounds, outlet to Cartwright. He's got Nate Watson. Jump hook, not this time. Rebound, St-El. Stony Brook came in after a loss to Hofstra, 84-81 last week.
And the Friars need to attack in transition every opportunity they get. You also need Cartwright to extend his game offensively and add some offensive points to his repertoire. He's trying to get guys involved, but I would like to see him score more. They need Cartwright to average double figures every game.
He's averaging 9.5 this year and 6.3 assists.
Look at vision by Cartwright, sharing the ball, seeing his young big fella, getting him involved early, and he's finishing. And then Cartwright again, precision on the passing, finding a wide open Jackson for a corner 3.
St-El missing, and that's a nice rebound by Jalen Lindsey, who tips it to a teammate. Bullock, long rebound, St-El. Cornish backs up, resets. Yeboah, he has not taken a shot yet. And he's being defended by Isaiah Jackson, graduate junior. And there is Akwazi Yeboah. He's had big games this year. There have been other games where he scored like 5 and 6 points, but then he scored 30 against Columbia.
Well, there's no question he's the best player on this Seawolves team, and he has to get going offensively. He can play inside and outside. He's what I call a hybrid forward.
Jackson probably should have taken that shot. Instead, he tried to force it to Watson and turns it over. Cornish loses it. Lindsay, nice defense.
Good job by Jackson. He didn't have the numbers to slow it up. Regroup, let Cartwright organize the team so you can get a good shot.
Jackson squares up, but Sekenda gets through the defense and the screen. Get to him. There's the double on Cartwright. Somebody's got to be open. It's Watson for a moment, but he struggles to get it in. Bullock does not.
And Rodney Bullock, he's always slithery around the basket, has the ability to offensive rebound. He just went up and took that and had the ability and the quickness to get it back on the boards and score.
Cornish all the way.
And that's what Jerron Cornish does. Aggressive scorer, getting to the basket. Loves to penetrate. He probes.
Cartwright running the offense, gets the screen, then takes the long distance three.
That's what you need from your leader point guard. He started off the game getting guys involved, but you need him to be more aggressive offensively. He found a spot, wide open three, knocked it down.
Sekenda flips it down low to Sturdivant. He backs his way in. This time good defense by the freshman Watson. Cartwright all the way. Yes!
And one of the things about Cartwright, he's seeing as this game evolves, is he's got to pick his spots and find a good balance of when to create for teammates and create for himself. And he took advantage of the transition attack by himself.
Sturdivant long. Rebounding. Isaiah Jackson. Cartwright again. Spinning back, loses it. And it is stolen by Cornish. And there's a foul on Cartwright, maybe out of frustration.
Kyron Cartwright being aggressive today, sharing the ball, but now taking advantage of himself, seeing the space, see the three, be the three. And then an opportunity to attack in transition, get into the basket, and that's what I call OM.
In his 7th year, 4 straight 20-win seasons, and in those 4 years, averaging 22 wins per year.
He's done an excellent job getting his Friars team rolling.
And our keys to success are sponsored by SoFi, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals.
Well, Stony Brook has to limit empty possessions. They have to not get the turnovers that they get every game, and they have to win the battle of the boards, and Providence contain Stony Brook's hybrid 4s and 5s and capitalize off the Seawolves turnovers.
And one of the things he was talking with us about before the game was toughness, and he wants to see his team a tougher, not only physically but mentally, and there's a foul called on Providence.
Absolutely, Steve. He's talking about, as you see, Coach Bowles right there, a veteran of this coaching game from Ohio State, under that Mata, worked with a lot of NBA guys over there, D'Angelo Russell, excellent coach. But to your point, the mental toughness he feels he needs to increase to help them pull out these losses that they had, uncharacteristic things that happen because of the lack of mental toughness.
Is that why, Dickie, when this game began, you talked about the importance of the point guard, Kyron Cartwright? It has to come the toughness from him.
Absolutely, because usually that's your leader. And when you have your leader, you want him to establish the mental toughness right off the bat.
And there is Cartwright now sitting down as the freshman comes off the bench to take over. Makai Ashton Langford is in the game, and Bullock will be at the free throw line, a 73% foul shooter.
And Steve, sometimes in situations, whether a point guard wants it or not, he's the first person that's looked upon to be the leader. And if you're being the leader, we need you to set the tone from a mental toughness standpoint. Establishing that in the game, so far, Kyron Cartwright has done that.
It's almost like a football game when, let's say, you have a good play or a bad play and the guys come back to the huddle, they look to that quarterback.
Absolutely. That's your initial person to deliver your toughness, your leadership.
Yeboah. He is their top scorer, averaging 13 points per game.
Excellent execution right there. Yeboah getting into a pick and pop, created enough space to get the three-point shot off, and he is a capable knockdown three-point shooter.
Drew Edwards also in the game, a 6'4" sophomore from Perry Hall, Maryland. And now it's Mekhi Ashton Langford, one of their top freshmen. Down low, but he threw it away. And the layup is good by Elijah Olaniyi.
I'm sorry, Steve. The Seawolves taking advantage of a turnover and getting right out in transition, capitalizing on the fast break and converting on offense.
Providence with 4 turnovers. Stony Brook, none. Bullock comes out high, and the senior swings it left. Jordan McKenzie defensively, and his defense just enough. And here comes Stony Brook with a chance to tie with a 3.
And right now, the Friars are playing in the favor of Stony Brook the way they want to play. Keep shooting jump shots. Let us attack in transition, and let us get our hybrid fours open for perimeter jump shots.
Elijah got too deep. Defender knocked it away. Into the corner, it's Lindsey. Misses the shot. Khalif Young with the rebound. And we got a timeout of the floor inside of 12 minutes to play in the first half. Providence with a 3-point lead over Stony Brook. When this season began, Ed Cooley thought he had a deep team, but then all of a sudden injuries caught up with him, and Malik White and Alpha Diallo, that's 17.5 points per game. They're out for a while.
And those are 2 important keys to this team. And like you said, Steve, 17.5 points that you have to find to replace in this game when the Friars are averaging 77 points a game. Who do you get those 17.5 points from? Is it Isaiah Jackson? Is it Cartwright getting more opportunity to score? You have to figure that out as the game goes on.
Cartwright is back in with Bullock. Khalif Young stays in the game, big number 13, along with Drew Edwards, 25. And the rebound controlled by Cartwright, and he almost threw it away. Well, gets it back.
The one thing you don't want to do is throw it towards the other team's basket.
Yeah. Jackson backs up.
I think this is the opportunity where the Friars need to take advantage of the mismatch. Secunda guarding Jackson and post him up in the paint. You have to recognize mismatches.
Jackson down low, Bullock. Ooh, I almost thought that was a goaltend.
That was close, but I think if you're Coach Cooley, you like the fact that Khalif Young is being aggressive and playing hard around the rim, getting offensive rebounds. He's a guy who didn't have any points last game and only 1 rebound. Needs to step up.
In 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's not good productivity from the big fella, but right now he's starting off early, establishing good offensive rebounding position, quick around the basket, using nice touch with his hand to put it back in.
Cartwright down low. Jackson for 3. Isaiah came in averaging under 4 points per game, but has hit 2 threes already for 6.
I think Isaiah Jackson is saying, hey, I'm going to be the guy that's going to make up for that 17.5 points we're missing from Diallo and White.
Well, the one way you can challenge a team's toughness is the bench. I mean, if they're not getting the minutes, it's all about productivity. Rebound controlled by Stony Brook. Jacob Petrus in the game now, a 6'11 senior, and knocking it down from outside. It's Jordan McKenzie. Khalif Young, that's not his shot.
Yeah, that's not what I would really want for that possession. I would call that an empty possession right there. Wasted possession because you shoot a jump shot by your big, not taking advantage of your strengths.
Secunda, that is his strength.
Very good job by Regbu. Baseline drive, baseline drift. That's what we call that when you find the open shooter, Secunda, in the corner.
And Secunda, one of the top 3 shooters in the America East Conference. Edwards bounces it right to Jackson. Shot clock down to 1, and it's a shot clock violation. Edwards had to immediately put it up. Instead, he drove.
You're getting a lot of three-point action right here. Isaiah creating space and knocking it down. Stony Brook getting into the action. And then the baseline drift, baseline pass. Secunda, 3-ball, corner, pocket.
So Providence's lead is only 2 with 9 minutes to play in the first half. Back in the game, Jaron Cornish, the junior from the Bahamas.
Well, the Friars have had 2 empty possessions. Khalif Young with a bad shot attempt, and then the turnover on the shot clock. And again, that's where we talk about Tyron Cartwright stepping up with leadership, recognizing the shot clock in the late count, and getting the ball, organizing the team, and getting a quality shot.
Providence came in averaging 77 points per game. Cornish slides in, flips it up, nope. And Young fighting for the rebound. I think that's what Coach Cooley would like to see more of.
Well, Khalif Young didn't start this game. He's been starting at the 5 every game, didn't start. So you want to say that kind of shook him a little bit, woke him up, and he knows he needs to be more aggressive rebounding and establishing some paint presence offensively.
Ashton Langford back in the game, operating as the point as Cartwright moves off to the 2-guard spot. He'll go with the left-handed fade off the front of the iron. Lindsay. We haven't said Jalen's name in a while, and he's a good outside shooter.
He's only had 2 shot attempts, both threes, and he's a 50+% three-point shooter. Just hasn't had an opportunity to knock him down or open looks.
Ashton Langford, no. Secunda down low to the big man, Petrus. Petrus is able to score and tie this game at 19.
Petrus is normally in the game that add a big body defensively, rebounding, but the big fella showing skill and vision with the interior passing to his teammate.
Young with Petrus on him. Cartwright down the lane. The floater will not go. It spins out. Cornish right side defended by the freshman. Secunda's wide open. Short with the 3. Ashton Langford left side. Jackson short this time with the 3-ball.
And the game has been majority up in pace, transition game, quick shots. Now you see the Seawolves slowing it down, gathering themselves. They need to maximize the shot clock and get a quality look.
Seawolves on an 8-0 run. Shot clock down to 6, and Cornish lets it fly, but it's long. Ashton, and he is fouled as he takes it in strong.
Sharing is caring in the holiday season. Giving it to Petrus. Look at the nice pass, nice vision. Your boy with the reverse.
Providence and Stony Brook tied at 19. Let's listen in to Ed Cooley's huddle.
Telling these his guys to play with more energy. You guys are flat right now. We've hit a segment where we can't make shots, and we're letting the fact that we can't make shots dictate our energy, and that shouldn't happen.
Ashton Langford has had a tough time at the free throw line this year. 44% before those two, and he missed them. A lot of times that is just simply confidence. They've got good three shooters in the floor, led by Secunda, and he knocks down the three.
And that's what Secunda does. That's what he's bringing to this team. His role is to take every open look and even force some looks because of his ability to shoot at a high level.
And he's coming off a big game, 20 points in their loss to Hofstra. He had 6 of 8 three-pointers in that game. Here's Bullock on the drive. Off the rim, no good. Controlled by Stony Brook, who leads by 3.
Well, I have to give Stony Brook credit. They're doing an excellent job defensively in the half court.
This is their first lead since they were up 1-0. Ashton Langford almost got the steal. Gets back defensively. Bowles sends in the new offensive play, and Cornish goes around the defense, slides in. The 5'11" junior going right by much taller 6'8", 6'9" players. Seawolves by 5. Back after this. A 13-0 run the last 4:55.
Bad defense by the Friars, taking advantage of the freshman big. Just Cornish attacking the ball screen, making Nate Watson have to defend it. He wasn't able to do it. Gave Cornish a straight line attack to the basket and finished. Coach Cooley had to call a timeout right there. He just talked about energy, and you come out from the timeout and you allow Cornish and the Seawolves to get an easy basket. Cannot happen.
Jalen Lindsey goes down low. Nate Watson goes in and scores.
And Nate Watson is one of my fresh faces of the Big East. I like this freshman, brings strong body, physicality. Look at the touch. This is why he finishes around the rim at a rate of 62%. Unbelievable finisher in the paint.
And he finishes the three-point play to pull Providence to within 2 points at 24-22. But you really need those moments because, like you talked about, Stony Brook gathering confidence, taking the lead, 13-0 run. And it's a freshman, Nate Watson, with a big play that might turn things around for them.
Well, Nate Watson brings a well-needed basket to stop the drought of the Friars, but most importantly, defensively is where the Friars need to get it done as a team, and they're not doing it right now.
Yeboah knocks down the 3.
And that's the advantage Yeboah has. That's where he takes advantage of Nate Watson. Yeboah can play on the perimeter, pick and pop opportunities, stretching Watson away. He's not comfortable guarding the perimeter like that.
He has 11 already, and Watson goes back to work and misses his second attempt, gets the third in. You know what? He kept the ball up over his head, and I thought that was key.
Unbelievable ability by the young fella to keep the ball high. Most guys bring the ball down low. Look at him being aggressive, but every rebound, keeping it high, using his touch. Look at the way he keeps it away from the little guards, the little guys to strip it from him, and stayed focused, finished, and got to the line.
And that was the second foul on Jerron Cornish, who has had an excellent beginning to this game. Cornish will have to take a seat with 2 fouls, and back in is Jordan McKenzie, the 6'1" freshman from North Carolina.
Well, Nate Watson has earned the starting spot this game, and if he keeps playing like this offensively, improves his defensive ability, you will see him as a starter for the rest of the season.
Providence extending their defense. Secunda's wide open. This time he misses the 3, claimed by Edwards.
And the Friars got lucky right there. Wide open look by a high percentage three-point shooter. He missed it. That didn't have anything to do with good defense. Secunda just missed an open shot.
Watch it again, backs his way in. I'm falling in love with this kid. It's almost like he came back from that timeout and said, I am going to be a low post presence.
And now you see why Coach Cooley started him today. The young talent in this kid, Nate Watson, the ability to score on the block. He's a retro big. He likes to post up and finish in the paint.
Inside, Yeboah scores, and he has 13 points now. And Providence trails by 3.
The Friars are recognizing the go-to Watson with the mismatch, and the Seawolves are utilizing Yeboah.
Edwards in the corner. Not this time. It's controlled by the big man, Tyrell Sturdivant. Secunda misses the 3. Cartwright has it. He can tie it with a 3. Edwards goes corner. Well, that's Lindsey's spot, but he turned down the shot. Bullock will take it. And the rebound controlled by Yeboah.
Coach Bowles has his team. Let's have composure. Let's take our time.
Yeboah misses badly. It almost seems like they're settling for the 3s now. Edwards floats it up, does not go.
I think Yeboah's a little tired. The Seawolves have gone to him the last 4 possessions. They're trying to ride the hot hand. A little tired. Just got to get his composure, get his win.
Yeah, he looked to the sideline.
And put his hand up. You saw him put his fist up. I need a sub, Coach. You have to love the retro bigs in this game. With so many bigs shooting jump shots in this game, you have guys that like to score inside like Watson. And look at Boyd establishing paint position, finishing, and the life of the Big East going. You had Georgetown lose to Syracuse yesterday, Seton Hall losing the battle of the state of New Jersey to Rutgers, and then the hottest player in college basketball right now, Trae Young of Oklahoma, willing those guys to get that win.
He had some Steph Curry 3s.
A la Steph Curry. He is an unpredictable, sporadic, erratic shooter, catching defenders off guard.
Oh, you mean he's a freshman? They can score 6 one game and 30 the next.
Stony Brook just having a turnover. That was their 2nd turnover for the game, which is one big reason when you talk about turnover. Cartwright uncharacteristically losing the ball. But Stony Brook, who averages 15 turnovers a game, one of the biggest reasons why they've lost some of their game, only have 2 turnovers right now, Steve, and that's the reason why they're up 3. One of the reasons.
And they have the ball. Yeboah has been very, very strong in the first half with 13 points. Petrus, left-hand hook goes. A kid from Slovakia.
You know you have everything going your way if you're the Seawolves with Petrus getting an offensive basket inside. He's not normally a guy they would go to, but right there they went to him, and he delivered.
Meantime, Bullock has been very quiet. He has just 6 points and 2 of 5 shooting from the 4. This is the guy they need from outside, Jalen Lindsey.
And he finally gets a chance to see the ball go through the net, and when you're a prolific shooter, a high-level three-point shooter, all it takes is for you to see the ball go through the net, and you get your game going.
Yeboah, yeah, he walked. And that, we were talking about their efficiency with only 1 turnover, and they made 2 turnovers in the last, 3 possessions?
And then you see, and that's what changes the momentum of the game. They were up 3. You make a turnover. Lindsey hits a 3, and now you make a turnover. Putting the Friars in position to either tie this game or go up. They need to get a paint touch here. Either go to Lindsey with a post-up or Bullock with a post-up.
Nice save by Lindsey. They got to get it off, and they just do miss. But a fine first half by Stony Brook with 31 points and 13 from that man, Akwazi Yeboah, the 6'6" redshirt sophomore. When we come back, Rob and the fellas will talk college basketball, Big East and the country. That's next. Cherokee. Stony Brook with a surprising 31-29 lead on the Providence Friars. Steve Fiziak along with Dickie Simpkins. It's time to go back to the lab.
Steve, let Professor Dickey take you back to the lab. Stony Brook showing you interior passing, all predicated off of Petrus. It's paint seal. Yeboah in the corner, backdoor cut. Nice interior pass from Petrus to Yeboah for the finish. That's what I call interior passing. And Petrus coming in the game, not known for a facilitator, not known for a scorer, but knows to find the hot hand, Yeboah, and drop it off to him for a nice, easy basket.
And he was 5 for 6 in that first half, including 3 of 4 from beyond the arc.
And Petrus's drop-off was 1 of 8 assists.
Providence did not shoot the ball well in that first half, just 38%. They hit 4 3-pointers, but just 3 of 6 from the free throw line. And Ed Cooley was talking about toughness, and he said sometimes making free throws is about mental toughness.
Absolutely. Free throw making is definitely 90% about mental toughness and mental memory of your shot mechanics and just doing the same thing every time.
Well, they need the 2 seniors to really step up in Cartwright and Bullock. They averaged 25 points per game combined, and Bullock, no foul called as he was bumped, but then slid down. Almost a travel there, and a bad attempted a shot by Saintel. It looked like he may have lost it, and Providence turns it over.
That's not the way you want to start the half if you're the Friars. That was an empty possession right there. Bullock slipping, and then the game a little bit out of funk right there with the Seawolves in transition with a bad shot.
Terrible pass by Stony Brook. Cartwright takes over, and we'll pull it back out. I think both Cartwright and Bullock have to be more aggressive. They only had 11 points on 9 shots in the first half.
No, they definitely have to be more aggressive offensively, especially with and right on cue. Cartwright says, I need to take this shot and be more aggressive because Steve and Dickey said I need to be more aggressive.
And Providence back in front. Cornish on the floor with Secunda, Saintel, Sturdivant, and Yeboah. Yeboah will take that jumper off the dribble. And controlling the offensive rebound is junior Saintel. He averages 4.5 boards per game.
Well, one of the keys in the game that I talked about was Stony Brook winning the battle of the boards. They're being very aggressive, getting themselves second opportunities.
From the corner, it is junior Saintel.
And when you get second opportunities and you get offensive rebounds, they usually lead to an open 3 at some point in time. And right there, the Seawolves find Saintel for a knockdown 3.
Cartwright gets it back. No backcourt violation, but a terrible pass by Cartwright results in a turnover. Saintel right into the face of the defense, and that is an offensive foul.
Well, I like the energy by Saintel on the defensive end. Energy, activity, creating that turnover. But right here, we're getting Cartwright had to step up, and he does. He sees space, and he knocks it down. And then the Seawolves said, I'll match you. Corner ball, 3.
Bullock slides down. The defense, Yeboah right with him. They get it low to the big fella, and Watson slams it down. A flop by the defender results in a jam.
Well, what I like about it is they gave the ball to Watson. He had good position. I really like the fact that the referees didn't call the flop, and Watson finished emphatically with the dunk.
Yeboah with his 5th three-pointer of the game. I beg your pardon, his 4th three-pointer of the game, and he now has 16.
And when I talk about hybrid forwards, Yeboah is one of those. He can play inside and outside. Look at the energy, the length.
Yeboah, this is the kind of game he had like he did against Columbia when he hit 9 of 12 from the floor, and 11 of 11 free throws for a career-high 30.
The Friars are all out of whack right now. They're all out of sync offensively, and they're letting that dictate how they play defensively and dictate their lack of composure in passing the ball.
Watson set the pick and then rolled. He was open, but Cartwright didn't find him and then shoots wildly, and he hurt his right ankle. Cornish the other way, hasn't knocked him down, but Kyron Cartwright in tremendous pain on the floor.
And he took that three-point shot right there. He must have came down on the defender's foot. He definitely can't have Kyron Cartwright be injured right now and have to miss the rest of this game or miss extended time. Hopefully, this is not a serious injury.
And right before he took that shot, Nate Watson had said a high screen, rolled to the basket, was open.
As you see the shot right there, and yep, he comes down on the defender's foot, tweaks his ankle right there. And that's one of those things when you come down on the defender's foot and you have that quick little tweak of your ankle, it could be severe enough where you can't play anymore in that game. It could be one of those things where it's a quick tweak, but you can kind of walk it off. So we're going to see what Kyron Cartwright does right here and how the trainer is able to evaluate it. He's really in agony and pain right there.
And he was playing with a right ankle injury. Remember, they do not have Alpha Diallo, who's one of their top players, with a right ankle injury, and Malik White out with a left knee injury.
And now that's going to take Coach Cooley in a situation where he's going to need to rely on his freshman, Ashton Langford, to run this team, control this offense, get these Friars back to rolling where they can turn the momentum around in their favor.
And the one thing that Ashton Langford does not give them is much scoring from beyond the arc list. So let's see how they defend him and let him take that outside shot.
And for a player who doesn't give a lot behind the arc or shooting-wise, that means he's going to have to find opportunities in transition.
Lindsey tried to pick up the Bullock miss, but misses. And right now, they are having a tough time getting a rhythm, a tempo, confidence, and Providence trails by 7 points.
Well, you figure the Friars would be able to take advantage of scoring in the paint, being aggressive in the paint with their size and athleticism. They're struggling to finish around the basket.
Bullock backs his way in, spins, can't get it to fall with the left hand.
And another struggle finish, and that's by your key player.
Cornish, he hits. Timeout, Ed Cooley, as Stony Brook goes up to a surprising 9-point lead, their biggest advantage of the game.
Cornish being aggressive, attacking the glass with the gas and the...
Meantime, Cartwright being helped from the court. He injured his right ankle coming down after a shot on an opponent's foot. So more than likely, we'll see Makai Ashton Langford the rest of the way as the point guard. He's a good driver and has it swatted away. Secunda comes up with it.
Definitely not a good sign when you see Cartwright walking off, struggling to walk off with people carrying him off the court into the locker room.
And the backup point guard, Ashton Langford, turns it over, but then Stony Brook cannot take advantage.
And Steve, this game right now started the second half, just has a funk to it in the flow of the game.
Yeah, Ashton Langford, we talked about his struggles offensively beyond the arc. He's now 2 for 10 this year. I think his whole key should be get the other guys involved.
Absolutely. No question about that. Let me get the other guys involved. This is my time to step up, carry the team in the absence of Cartwright. Here's my opportunity to gain trust, build deposits in the trust bank with Coach Cooley.
You won, what, 4 world championships?
3, but I like the fact that you give me 4, though. I'll take it.
Well, as you know, sometimes you got to let the big dog eat.
And absolutely, there's no question about that.
Bullock, offensive foul. Providence completely out of rhythm. And a timeout on the court. 14:27 to go. Stony Brook by 9. And they were led by their Player of the Year candidate, Trayvon Blewett.
Well, both of those guys are going to battle for the Big East Player of the Year. Trayvon Blewett, Jalen Brunson. I mean, 31 points in the game. He had 10 minutes into the game, 22 for the half, and finished the game with 31. He was just strictly skilled, making shots, taking advantage of the Temple guards.
Jackson back in. He had a hot start with a couple of threes. Ashton Langford will back up, look over to Ed Cooley, who will call the play from the side. Young trying to post up low.
And this is the part of the game when you talk about mental toughness. We're going to find out about the Friars' mental toughness right now.
4 seconds left in the shot clock, and that's not the shot they wanted from the freshman, and we have a whistle and a foul call.
Absolutely not the shot that Coach Cooley wanted. He ran a flex cut offense right there, get some movement on the defense, swing the ball side to side, but it was to initiate a pass in the paint, try to get Bullock to score, and not Langford, who's not a three-point shooter, to shoot a 3.
Providence extends their defense. Down low, and boy, they move it well and execute their plan. As filling it up is Jacob Petrus.
Well, the Seawolves must have came to my back to the lab session, because right there they showed again some interior passing, good vision, sharing the ball.
Ashton Langford going back in, has it knocked free, and he'll wind up at the free throw line, but this is not his strength.
Stony Brook right now having good composure, sharing the ball, unbelievable pass right there. Just the feel, the vision to deliver that ball for Petrus to have an easy basket. And
Stony Brook, of course, from Stony Brook, New York, enrollment of almost 25,000 in there in the American East Conference, which I think everybody's pick is Vermont again. They were in 29 games last year and unbeaten in conference play at 16-0, but Stony Brook was picked in the upper division of that conference.
Well, I think if it's left up to Coach Jeff Bowles, he's going to have something separate to say about that. I mean, here's a guy who came and took over this program for his first season, and they finished second in the conference. He's looking to build off of that with this team, with the veterans, with the recruiting class they have in. I see them competing well in the American East this year.
But they came in at 4-7. Only 4 wins against 7 losses.
Well, you take those games that they're playing right now, and that's supposed to build for conference play.
McKenzie misses. Lindsay with the rebound.
Now, I'm sorry, Steve. Now, let's see if the Friars can build off of that defensive stop they have right there. I mean, that's where you change the momentum of the game. You come up with defensive stops and capitalize it with a defensive rebound.
Makai Ashton Langford at the point. We told you Kyron Cartwright out with the right ankle injury. Bullock. Well, Young didn't handle it. Bullock gets it back and throws it away. They're saying no over and back, and now they finally do get the call.
Well, that was good teamwork by the referees helping each other out. The initial ref, he's trying to see the action. The action converted so quickly he could not see who it went off. He gets the help of his co-worker. Quick pass back. He couldn't really see if it was touched or not. That's why he didn't call. But the far ref comes into play.
And Bullock goes to the sideline. Lynn's back in. They also have Khalif Young in the game as their center. And that is a push, they're saying, from Jackson. 12 minutes to go. Stony Brook, surprisingly, by 10. Grand Cherokee. The Stony Brook Seawolves with a record of 4-7, surprising Ed Cooley's Providence Friars, who have not played well in the first 28 minutes of this one. Jeff Bowles mighty proud, but a long way to go. Guy Ashton Langford defensively, and there's Secunda with a long-distance jumper. No good. Controlled by Edwards. Isaac Jackson, he almost walked.
And this is where you just got a defensive stop. You have to chip away at this deficit piece by piece, not try to get it all back at once, but you have to have quality attempts, and you have to finish around the basket.
Yeah, they're disorganized right now. There's no movement. And Jackson has to force up a jump shot. Edwards fortunate enough to pick it up, and then he has it swatted free.
One of the problems right now in this segment where the Friars are struggling is, again, you're trying to figure out who's your leader in this situation right now. Cartwright is out of the game. Bullock's not in the game. Who can step up and be a leader or organize the team? But give the Seawolves credit on defensively.
Another wild shot, this time by Elijah Olaniyi.
And even right there, Steve, that possession in transition, Ashton Langford gets saved by the referees. I don't think that was a good flow of attack where the Seawolves are back on defense. The lane was clogged up, wasn't really anywhere to go. But fortunately for him, he was able to get a foul and get to the free throw line.
Meantime, Ashton Langford, we told you, just 1 of 4 from the free throw line and 44% this year. And it looks good coming out of his hand, but probably not out of his mind.
No, I mean, the mechanics can look good, but if you're shooting 44% from the free throw line and you have good mechanics, that means that mentally you have got off track of confidence of making shots, and not only 44% from the from the free throw line, he's only shooting 22% from the three.
He makes 1 of 2, cuts the lead to 9. Ed Cooley took out his big Khalif Young, going a little smaller, with Lindsey on the front line with Bullock and Isaiah Jackson. And the guards are Ashton Langford and Edwards.
The Friars have to have high-intensity defensive effort right now. Man-to-man, collective group, individually you have to be aggressive. You have to force turnovers. Coach Cooley needs guys out there who's going to bring energy, change the tone of the game, force turnovers.
Edwards on Jordan McKenzie. The drive, the wild layup, no good, but Petrus picks it up and knocks it down.
For a guy who only averages 3.5 points a game, only comes in to rebound and set screens, he is a surprise player in this game right here. Scoring, passing, and rebounding.
Bullock down low, Petrus on him defensively. Bullock slides back to the right, can't get the roll. Jackson is fouled.
Petrus is doing an amazing job in this game. Coming in, giving quality minutes for a guy who doesn't play that much, comes in for a specific role. Right now, he is buying into his role. He is doing his role. He is starring in his role right now.
And Jackson at the free throw line has done a good job in that department this year. Came in hitting 10 of 14. He's had a good game with 7 points. This is a young man who has a transfer from George Mason, averaged almost 9 points per game as a freshman.
You see the Friars with full court pressure now, 1-2-2, trying to cause turnovers.
Now they're running a little clock. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. McKenzie now with 5. Bounces it over the right side. They're going to have to take the shot here. And with the fade and knocking it down is UC Iregbu. He gets it back.
Rodney Bullock just, right now, his composure is at a low level. He's not scoring. He's not contributing in any other factor. His composure is shot. He's throwing the ball away, uncharacteristic of a senior.
Nothing going right for the Friars. Trailing by 11 inside 9 minutes to play.
And as this game goes along and the clock winds down, the Friars' opportunities to turn things around are going to start getting fewer and fewer. They have to do something to get the crowd in the game to change the energy of this game.
Ashton Langford backs his way out. Bullock sets the screen. Defense is there, and Lindsay misses the three. Boy, their shooting has been like the weather here in the Northeast. Cold.
And Coach Bowles calls a good timeout right there. He had subs at the scorer's table. He sees his team tired.
Stony Brook over Providence. Stony Brook with a 49-38 lead over the Providence Friars. Let's take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee stats comparison. And Providence only shooting 30% from the floor. And they have not made a field goal in the last 9 minutes and 41 seconds.
Well, two of the most interesting things in this game is you would think the Friars would be winning in second chance points, but that's not the case. The Seawolves have an advantage in that category, and then you would think that the Friars would be winning in the paint points, and the Seawolves are winning and have an advantage in that category.
And Ed Cooley might be sending a message to his team. He is bringing in a walk-on, Tom Planick, with his team down by 11 points. Planick, number 34.
And Planick only averages 1.5 minutes a game. He's only played in 4 games. He's definitely sending a message. And if I'm Planick, I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm looking at my teammates, and if they don't want to play, I'm going to play.
And we have a turnover by the Stony Brook Seawolves.
You talk about Planick has only played in 4 games so far from Oak Park, Illinois, a senior. And this is one of the things a coach's tactic of trying to get his players to respond. I mean, at this point in time, you are on scholarship. You have to have pride in doing the right thing to win.
Lindsay gives it up. Ashton Langford, they'll let him shoot. Shot clock's down to 10. And a foul will be called, and that really bailed out Providence. You know, Dickie, sometimes we hear about the RPI, the ratings percentage index, but I think Ed Cooley right now, his RPI is rebound, play intense.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, you hit it on the head. Again, you're a scholarship athlete. Even if you're not making baskets or we can't finish, you can do other things to change the tone of this game. Defensively, rebounding, transition. Right now, Cooley is searching for that from his players, and Planick, he put in the game. Can you go do it for us?
Well, Ashton Langford with a good move down the lane, unable to finish as he was hammered from the left side by Stony Brook, and the personal foul went against Sturdivant. That is his third. 7.5 to play. And
I understand, Steve. Ashton Langford has gotten propelled into playing extended minutes this game because Cartwright is injured and out of the game. But this is what you live for right now. The talent that Ashton Langford has, this is what you live for right now. Take advantage of the opportunity. Step up to the plate. Be a game changer.
And in the Big East game that I did yesterday, I tell you, one of the big keys was a freshman, Najee Marshall, making free throws in their great comeback.
I mean, there's a lot of freshmen around the country right now stepping up. We talked about Trae Young at Oklahoma. Obviously, we know about the freshmen at Duke. But the Big East has some freshmen that are stepping up also.
And there's a steal by Jackson. He'll score.
And That's what you need, that type of intensity. Right now, cutting the lead to 7 points. You hear the crowd getting into the game.
Well, it was either Jackson or Planick with the bump. But Planick's got to feel pretty good about himself.
Well, Isaiah Jackson using his length, extending out on defense, keeping it in transition, not turning it over and finishing. And then the Friars picking back up full court. This is what you need is a lot of time. You're cutting the lead, change the tone of the game. The crowd is in the game. Stay aggressive, discipline.
And there's Planick again with the trap, forcing the almost turning it over, but Stony Brook somehow saves it. Ashton Langford. They're playing with a new fire. Bullock. Yes!
Steve, this is what you need, and I'm going to give it to Planick. Planick comes in the game, turns his intensity up. Planick stepping up. I can play. Put me in, coach.
There's the walk-on, applying the pressure, helping force a turnover.
You need a guy who comes in and only plays a minute and a half when he's got an opportunity, and he's helping turn the intensity defensively. Defense created offense. You get it to your star player, Bullock. He gets an easy basket. Now you cut the lead to 5. It's still 6 minutes left. You cannot let up defensive intensity right now. You're the Friars. Keep the pressure on, and all of this started by the walk-on Planick. He's a star right now, Steve.
And you want to keep that seed of doubt in Stony Brook's minds. They almost forced the turnover again.
Good, you have to continue to apply the pressure.
Oh! It's an offensive foul! Another freshman, Ashton Langford, set himself.
And what these Friar players should do, they should thank Planick. He's turned the momentum, turned the energy. It's trickling down to every guy. Ashton Langford now moving his feet, cutting off the sideline, and taking the offensive charge, giving his body up for the team.
Jerron Cornish with his 4th personal foul, so he must sit down. Plenty of time to go. Ashton Langford working up the right side, defended by McKenzie.
And this is where you capitalize.
Beautiful pass inside, but Jackson can't finish, although he will be fouled.
This is where you have to capitalize, Steve. Execution is key. Ashton Langford with an excellent pass. Nice precision, nice vision, setting up, baiting for the backdoor cut. Good pass. And now you just need Isaiah Jackson to finish. Look, he's hopping around. He knows he should have scored that basket.
Jackson with 11. It all started because of Kyron Cartwright back on the bench, suffered ankle sprain, not available the rest of this way.
But that's a good sign. You see your leader on the bench. Look at him clapping. He's intent. And just his leadership sitting on the bench can help elevate this team's intensity and energy.
They get it to Yabo, who's been very, very quiet in this second half. McKenzie again operating the point because of Cornish's foul trouble.
The Friars are locked in defensively, communicating, switching, using their versatility.
Steal! Ashton Langford! Got it! Stolen by Lindsay! And Providence has their first lead of the second half.
Right now, the crowd is in the game. Steve, understand, I'm going to keep saying it. Planick, a guy who averages a minute and a half a game, has only played in 4 games, uses his length, his anticipation. It doesn't take talent. It doesn't take a scholarship to help change the tone of your team, the energy, the intensity, coming up with defensive plays. Planick making winning plays, defense creating offense.
Well, he's going to have a himself a Merry Christmas if he can contribute to a Providence victory.
He's earning minutes right now. His teammates should, after this game, win or loss, buy him Christmas presents. He has done his job. Here's a guy, and you give it to Coach Cooley. He stepped up, made a bold decision. You guys are not delivering in this game. I'm going with planning, show that I'm right, and he is stepping up for Coach Cooley right now. An unsung hero, a guy who practices every day getting his opportunity, and he's capitalizing, delivering, and making the tempo of this game change in the favor of the Friars.
50-49. And Stony Brook with 5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes. But as you said, it was all when they switched the defense, extended it, full court pressure, trapping the ball. And that young man you talked about, not on scholarship, walking on, want to be part of the team and get a great education from a fine school in Providence.
It doesn't take a scholarship. It doesn't take a talent to equate into effort, ability, sacrifice, doing what it takes, understanding your role, starting your role, capitalizing off of the opportunity.
Whoa! Quasi Yaboa, who had been so quiet for such a long stretch, goes in and throws down with 2 hands and now has 20 points to lead all scorers.
For a player that's their main guy and being quiet, way to come in with an emphatic dunk in transition. Friars have to do better. Cut off the driver in transition.
Lindsay. He had to take that shot because the shot clock was winding down. Stony Brook gets it back, leading inside, 5 minutes to go.
Well, if you're the Friars, you're only down 1. Don't start launching threes. Keep doing what got you here.
Your ball with the miss. Ashton Langford brings it down.
This is the part of the game right here that Coach Cooley, the rest of the team, have to make sure Ashton Langford is under control. I don't know if I want Ashton Langford to be the first option in that half-court situation. I want him to get the ball around, try to get guys involved. Then you look for your shot.
Sturdivant pulls his way up, accepts the foul from Planek. And he'll be at the free throw line.
You have to stop the transition ball. Don't forget about me. I haven't left this game. I'm still the guy of this team. And he attacks the basket strong, but the Friars have to get in it. You cannot let a guy drive the length of the court with no resistance defensively.
Sturdivant not a good foul shooter, just 52%, but he makes his first. And Stony Brook back in front by 2. Jeff Bowles, a marvelous first 30 minutes of this game. But once Ed Cooley switched to the full court pressure, they started a great comeback.
Well, you talked about the Seawolves being 4-7. I talked to Coach Bowles before the game. A lot of those games they were in, they lost at the end. And he said, I said, what's the message to your team? He said, you have a choice. You have a choice to rebound. You have a choice to defend.
The foul will be called on Stony Brook. Bowles can't believe it. Bullock will be at the line when we come back.
And the Villanova way, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges playing unbelievable basketball this season. And then Bobby Hurley.
What a job he's done.
He's done an unbelievable job with that Arizona State team. Going into Kansas, beating the Jayhawks in Lawrence, Kansas.
Meantime, Rodney Bullock now has a chance to tie it. He's a 73% foul shooter.
Now, you're the Friars. You still want to apply pressure here. You still want to be smart defensively. Got to make free throws. You have to have your star player, your key players make free throws.
Planek on the sideline, back to planet Earth, perhaps, for the moment.
Well, that was probably one of the most amazing segments of his college career on the basketball court right there.
Yeah, his mom and dad were getting to the DVR as quickly as possible. Hey, they're talking about our son. And they also have Nate Watson, who hasn't played in a long time. Now, Nate back in the game.
Well, one of the biggest things with the Friars right now, every man, to a man on the court, they can't let down Planek right now.
And Watson with the jump hook. He has had a chance to rest. He's got plenty of energy in the last 3 minutes of this game.
Good execution on that possession, getting it down to the big fella. He delivered with the right-hand jump hook. But if I'm a Friar player right now, if I don't come out here and extend the energy and intensity like Planek set the tone, I'm letting him down.
Steal by Jackson. And Jackson is fouled by Stony Brook.
Good execution after the timeout. Coach Cooley working the ball around, getting it to Watson. Watson, no dribble, just nice touch. Keeping it simple, being efficient. 63% field goal finisher.
Or they like his future. Nate Watson, a freshman from Arlington, Virginia, also recruited by KU, Xavier, Miami, North Carolina State, chose Providence. Planek's going to come back in.
Coach Cooley has done a good job. And that's my guy, Planek. He earned it. He deserves it.
And he's coming back in for Watson. That's interesting.
Well, he's coming in for the defensive part. Coach Cooley Planek earned these minutes right now. He's coming in on the defensive side because he was the one to energize it. He knows Watson is more offensive, so he's doing a substitution right here. Defense for offense. Offense for defense.
There's the trap. And there's a foul. Here was Jalen Lindsey with the personal. And it's 1 plus the penalty for Stony Brook.
Lindsey has to continue to move his feet. He moved them initially, but then he stopped. You have to continue to move your feet. And right there, you see the substitution, Steve. Now Watson comes back in the game now to provide offense. Planek goes to the bench.
Yeboah, a 77% foul shooter. He'll get the second one and a chance to tie this game as Planek sits. Watson back in.
But you see Planek sitting. Now, you know when a player's going back in the game, he sits up in the first part of the bench. Planek at the beginning of the game was sitting towards the end of the bench. Now he knows I'm sitting up at the beginning in between the assistant coaches. That means I'm going back in the game soon. You know when your position changes when you sit in a different area of the bench.
Watson. Look at the kid. 18 years old and powering it up and in.
The big fella, Watson. Young talent, delivering it, bringing it home for the Friars offensively.
Short. Lindsey, good defense that time.
And Lindsey known as a shooter, not normally known as a defender, but doing an excellent job keeping his position on that post defense, causing a difficult shot and getting the rebound.
Big possession here. Let's see if it goes to the seniors like Bullock.
You got to go back to the hot hand. You got to get it back to Watson.
How about this? Another freshman, Ashton Langford instead.
Well, Langford said, hey, since we can't get it to Watson, I'm going to capitalize on my opportunity. His confidence has built. He made a nice move to his strength. He knows he's not a shooter, but he went to his strength, attacking the paint, gets fouled, concentrates, steps up as a freshman, and finishes in the critical of the game.
You know, that's what the coaches were saying before the ball game to us, that Ashton Langford will grow as an outside shooter, but he said he is still probably our best dribble drive penetration guy we have on the team as a freshman.
He is absolutely the best dribble drive guy, and you're absolutely right.
And he's making his free throws now.
His perimeter shooting will get better because his mechanics are good.
Cornish back in, playing with 4 fouls. Providence with a 5-point lead. Nearing the 90-second mark. Cornish with the left hand.
Can't let that happen. You have to know the scouting report. You have to know Cornish is an attacker, speed dribbler, trying to get to the basket.
Timeout by Ed Cooley.
This is what Cornish does. He's aggressive getting to the basket. To be so small, he has the speed and quickness. Look at the hesitation dribble, miscommunication on the ball screen. Cornish gets in there with an uncontested layup.
Providence at one time down by 11 points, 49-38 at the 13-22 mark, has roared back to take this 3-point lead and has the ball. Fans, Friday, it's college basketball action from the Los Las Vegas Classic as Nevada takes on Southern Illinois. Tip-off is at 11 Eastern on FS1 or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. And I'd really like to see those twins, Caleb and Cody Martin. Combined, they're averaging like 36 a game for Nevada.
Well, they were at North Carolina State. They transferred from North Carolina State. They're very talented. Now they found a new home in Nevada, being able to use their talents, and they are very good. They're versatile, but they bring some offensive presence inside and outside. Twin power, activate.
Meantime, Jerron Cornish playing with 4 personal fouls, 10 points, made that last basket to cut it to 3, and Watson is back on the floor for Providence.
And Cornish has scored in double figures in 4 straight games, make it a 5th one. If they can keep getting him to score like that, that helps this Seawolves team.
I wonder if Ashton Langford might be a little aggressive offensively, because Cornish with 4 fouls is defending him. Shot clock down to 9. Here goes Ashton Langford with the drive. He misses. Jackson tries to pick him up. Instead, it's pulled down by Sturdivant.
The story of the day for the Friars, struggling to finish around the basket.
Long distance jumper that misses by Iregbu, but scoring from the left side. Brian Secunda, it's a 1-point game.
And that's just Watson on the backside of the defensive rebound, not going to get that ball, letting Secunda sneak in. You can't let that happen.
Separation on the shot clock and game clock, like 17 seconds.
Need to get something in the paint.
Ashton Langford with the pull-up. No! And a chance for Yeboah. But a steal by Bullock, and then a foul by Secunda.
But how about Ashton Langford with the sense of mind and instinct to know that he missed the shot, and you know the shooter is the one who really knows the rebound before everybody else, but being sneaky, being a criminal, call 911. Ashton Langford coming up with the steal. Give me that. And the instinct to save it and find his teammate.
Rodney Bullock makes it a 2-point game.
72% free throw shooter, Bullock. It is very necessary for him to make this shot. If he makes this, he puts it up by 3. And Rodney Bullock's been struggling today offensively. They're trying to sneak a timeout. Some confusion here with the referees. Coach Bowles is trying to call his team over to sneak in a timeout real quick and get an offensive play.
Whoa, misses the second 2-point game.
You cannot give up a 3 right here. You cannot give up an open 3. You have to have a defensive stop.
Cornish's speed gets inside, and the tip-in is good by Sturdivant to tie the game. 9.6 seconds left.
Got to get to the paint to get fouled.
Jackson. Bullock. And a foul is called with 0.6 seconds left.
That is a tough call on the Seawolves. Coming up with an offensive rebound down there to tie the game up. And getting called for a foul here as the Friars. But this right here, Cornish attacking, gives Sturdivant the opportunity to offensive putback, but the Friars doing what they need to do. Attack with confidence to score. No box out on Bullock. That's a close call right there. That's a close call. I understand the Seawolves being a little upset, but you have to finish off with a box out.
So at the free throw line, Rodney Bullock, who is just 146 points shy of catching Dickie Simpkins for 27th on Providence all-time scoring list.
I don't know. I guess I got to coming up with one of my
for the lead.
This is for the lead, so I have to. He needs to make it. keep catching my scoring number.
Bullock makes them both. And Planek, the last man to touch it. It was the walk-on who speared this comeback, and Ed Cooley can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
That was a close call. Coach Bowles in place for his Seawolves to win. Right there, Bullock was trying to miss the free throw and made it. And fortunately for the Friars, they pull this one out, all because of my man, Planek, changing the tone.
Tom Planek, there he is. The walk-on. Once again, our final score, Providence over Stony Brook, 62-60. For Dickie Simpkins, I'm Steve Physiak. So long from Providence, Rhode Island. Now let's go to Rob.
All right, gents, plenty. Gut check. It was a sweating type of performance for our man, Ed Cooley, who joins us now live from the dunk. Coach Cooley, thanks for joining us. Rob Stone, Nick Baugh here with you. In following last weekend's loss at UMass, you went on your radio show. You had some very interesting words, and one of the phrases was, you said, this team was going to be better next time out. Where were you better today, and maybe where were you better in that final 9 minutes?
I guess in a desperate situation, I'm really proud of our group. We did hang on to win the game. We're fighting through adversity. We're fighting through some injuries. We just have to play better. We have to have ownership. I'm proud of our grit. I mean, down 13 or 12, whatever it was, we had to go a little bit smaller to try to change the pace of the game. We couldn't score. It seems offensively we're in a rut right now, and I got to do a better job coaching the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, we had some breakdowns, but we made the adjustment, and the adjustment worked for us to win this particular game.
Let's talk about that adjustment, Coach. You put in Planek, you slap a full court press on Stony Brook. Really seemed like it changed the complexion of the game.
It definitely did. It allowed our crowd to get into the game. Our guys got energized off the one steal from Isaiah Jackson late in the game. With about 9 minutes left, we got a deflection to go cut it to 6. Then we had another back-to-back turnover. So it really was just a good team win. You'll take them how you get them. I thought Stony Brook played hard. They made a lot of threes early. I'm just proud of our group. We showed some grit. We have to get healthy. We definitely have to get healthy. The injury bug is catching up to us. Hopefully, Kyron's okay. I won't have an update on that till I get in the locker room.
Coach, I'm looking at your nonverbals. We know you as a very jovial, happy, loose cat. Is this relief right now? Is this anger? Is this frustration coming off this huge rally to get the win?
No, not angry, not frustrated at all. Sometimes you just got to find a way, and I thought we found a way today. You can be upset about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, the game's 40 minutes long. We're making a lot of mistakes. We found a way to win. I don't want to be cavalier about it, but it still says, hey, our kids found a way to win against a quality opponent, and I'm very, very, very pleased with the group.
And Coach, you asked this week, who are we? Normally, you should know who you are by this time of the season. Did you get any clarity to that question today?
Well, we found some toughness. We found some toughness late. We found some grit. That's what we're trying to become. That's always been our staple and our identity, to play hard, to play physical, to play fast. So I thought we made a jump in the right direction today. We got to find a way to get easier baskets when we're not making jump shots. When we're not making jump shots, we got to find a way to, get in front of the rim and make some free throws.
Coach, as always, we enjoy our time with you. Thanks for joining us live, and congratulations on that really gritty 2-point win over Stony Brook. Enjoy it. Try to, my friend.
I'm going to enjoy it. Happy holidays, and as always, man, go Fox Sports 1.
There we go.
That's why we put him on.
That's what we want to do.
What we do for him. So.